is Jeremy Martin, um, and I'm talking about facial recognition assisting police in PG County 2020 through 2025.
Great.
Um, what if everywhere you went, you were identified within seconds, and everyone knew you all over the world? I'm not just referring to a movie that you've seen on television or in the movie theaters, such as Eagle Eye or Minority Report. I'm talking about in reality. You may ask yourself, how is this possible? Well, it's currently happening right now in our world. And it's been around for years. In fact, it's more prevalent now than it's ever been. What am I referring to, you ask? I'm talking about the new age of biometrics. But in this particular conference, we'll be discussing the importance of the growing impact of facial recognition for the future and how it can better assist the police. Facial recognition is right now being used by federal, state, city, and county law enforcement agencies all over the world to solve various crimes and make it easier to ID faces. For several years, 17 to be exact, facial recognition has been used by casinos such as the MGM and the airport security to identify people that may be fugitives, known terrorists, or missing persons through the use of surveillance cameras, also known as CCTV cameras. However, like any technology, it can become outdated. And if you don't change with the times, it can be less effective for its purposes. Let me explain. There are three major problems that have been discussed with the current facial recognition used by law enforcement. Number one, facial recognition systems that we now have. The person's face, when front on, is clear, and the computer algorithm can outperform humans. However, when the person's face is farther away and shot from a different angle or poor lighting, it makes it difficult for the system to decipher, and it will provide a list of candidates or best guesses to choose from. Wait, you mean to tell me that we have to rely on a human to guess who it is from a list, and you wonder why the wrong people end up in prison? That's not what I'm saying. The error rates of a human picking who they think it is 50%.
Right.
Number two, if the person changes their hairstyle or puts on glasses, or they're smiling, or they're sad, or angry, the system will have trouble deciphering it, our system that we're using right now. And finally, is the most talked about right now, is facial recognition being racially biased against African Americans. In a study co-authored by a senior FBI technologist, shows that the algorithm of 3 commercial company like vendors consistently perform 5 out of 10 worse on African Americans than any other race. Now, CCTV surveillance is not the only form of facial recognition that law enforcement uses to identify people. There are also the capabilities of mobile facial recognition, in which the officer has a smartphone or a body camera or tablet or a portable device that when the cop pulls you over, he can use his whatever device to scan your face or your driver's license, and then he compares it with other faces in the database that the FBI has or whatever. Or it can be compared with a real-time hot list that they have of people suspected of illegal activities, or a mugshot database. Currently, over 25 agencies stop people on the streets and in the airports, at border crossings, during Olympic Games, sports stadiums, to run facial recognition in their databases. So now we're going to narrow it down to PG County. According to Washington Post and Southern Maryland Online, there are currently 1,500 high-profile homicides in PG County that remain unsolved. For example, the death of Ronnie L. White, who was killed in jail, and county leaders expressed that killing may go unpunished or unsolved because they can't get a face, or they don't want to place a face. Sean Green, who was fatally shot at a red light. Killing of an 8-month-old child shot by a gunman that they can't ID. If you visit PG Crime Solvers, their website, there are tons of cases, missing persons, most wanted victims, unknown identities that the police are still searching for. If there are all these homicides and unknown identities and missing persons that have been deemed unsolvable, what is the solution? I would like to introduce the new Face ID feature from iPhone by Apple. It's better resolution. It shoots a 3D image of the face with 30,000 dots, and it will learn you. The more you use it, the more you use the facial recognition feature, it will continue to learn the person's face. So the bone structure, if you put on glasses, if you put on a wig, if you, any of that. And it's a super advanced AI system. So I know I just didn't go through the slides.
It's all right.
So what is the cultural impact going to be in the future? The crime rate would go down. Every face that's unknown right now that the police don't know about would be found, or it would be in their database. They have a database right now with all these faces distorted, pixelated, that they're trying to match. But with this once it blows up and it gets out there, they can use this system to better ID these people and make matches. I was doing some research, and it had an image of three different images of the same person. One was wearing glasses, the other one had her hair in a ponytail, and the other one was just like normal, straight face, just angry. And the system couldn't even put them together and realize that it was the same person. But with this technology, you can, because of the imagery and just the technology, you would be able to ID that person.
So it's going to be an editor, basically.
Right.
I had no idea. That's interesting.
So the crime rate would go down exponentially. All those 1,500, they will be found, and they would use this technology in their surveillance cameras. Just imagine, that.
Yeah.
On every street corner, every store, every airport, everywhere, there will be this technology. And technology only gets better with time. They're gonna make tweaks to it, and there's new updates, that different things that they can put into just limitless stuff that you can do with this technology. It's new. It just came out. But you do that, and it just picks up this person's gender, their age, their all that stuff. Just imagine, wherever you go, you are identified, no matter where you went in the world, and everyone knew who you were. That's it. Questions?
I think you're going to have to give us a second here. Kind of think I mean, there's a lot here. You did a really good job at presenting this, Jeremy. It's really good.
So